Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I'm going to be taking you through how to address your functional scoliosis. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. It doesn't get better than that, so take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, like I said, today we're going to be showing you how to address your functional scoliosis. Now, just to be sure that you know that there is a difference in types of scoliosis that you could be experiencing, there's structural scoliosis and then there is functional scoliosis. When we talk about a structural scoliosis, this is when the spinal column itself has the actual structural deformity. But when we talk about a functional scoliosis, this is a scoliosis that is occurring because of something that's happening above or below the spinal column that's causing your body to actually form into this scoliotic curvature. So a lot of times functional scoliosis will show up later in life as a result of maybe a history of injury that you've had or certain limitations in mobility that you have from side to side that are causing an imbalance that are creating your spinal column to manipulate itself so that you can actually kind of move what feels straight to your body. So it is a form of almost survival state to allow your body to get by overall. But if we can correct what's happening above and below the spinal column, depending on where those issues are, then we can also influence that functional scoliosis. So today what I'm going to be doing is taking you through some exercises, banded distractions, some different soft tissue mobilities that might be helpful for you, and even breathing techniques, and then also some strength and stability exercises that will help you start to address those areas above and below that really heavily influence the structure and organization of your spinal column and how you stabilize it. So let's go ahead and start to look at some of these exercises, and we can talk about it as we go. All right, the first thing we're going to go through is banded distractions to address the hip and the shoulder. The reason we want to go for the hip and shoulder is because those are two major drivers in our ability to organize and stabilize our spinal column. If we have issues there, that's directly going to impact how well we can organize our spine. So here I have a band connected to a post down low. I have it over my hip crease, and I'm pulling the knee to my chest and then pressing through the floor so my leg goes into a bit of internal rotation here actually. From there, I'm going to add a rotational movement. Now I'm going to take that leg over the top. I want to place my hand behind my head, and I'm going to be pulling my shoulder blades to the floor, so I'm opening up as much as possible. Of course, if you can't quite get there to begin with, what I want you to do is take a nice deep inhale and then exhale as you rotate, only going as far as you're able to. You'll eventually find that you can increase range of motion over time. And I do want you to perform these actually on both sides so that you're feeling and able to compare how both sides are working and the range of motion that you have on both sides. Okay, so do go both sides on all these exercises so that you can feel the comparison and work with that to help improve yourself. Next, we're going to straighten that leg out here, taking it at full length, still working rotation through the spinal column. And again, just relaxing into that position as much as you're able to. If you need, you can use a strap or something to help grab that foot if you can't quite reach it. And we do want to add a little bit of a flex at the quads there as we're holding this position on that straight leg. We can then bend the leg in so that the leg is planted, and here we're going to work a little bit of external rotation. You'll see I brought the bottom leg up to kind of support my foot here. I'm also holding my foot in place, and I'm letting that knee open up. I'll pull it to my chest, open it up, and just go passive for a little bit, letting that band pull at my spinal column all the way through my hip there. Next, moving the band up to the shoulder, we're going to place it at the front of the shoulder to start, and here we're working internal rotation. So I place the arm behind my back. I'm going to make some circles while that band is at my shoulder, and I just want to let the band pull me back into a good position. Now I do like these as well because this is going to challenge your core brace also. So just focus on keeping yourself nice and squared up to the wall that's in front of you and making sure your body's not rotating with the band as it pulls you. You want to try and stay as squared as you can, not allowing your body to rotate while that band pulls. Next, I move that band down to my elbow to take it a little bit further into extension, which is still going to need a lot of internal rotation as we're working here. And then I will take it to both arms behind me and fully extending in internal rotation. So my thumbs are pointing down, the band is pulling both arms back behind me. We can also get some thoracic extension here, so keep your butt tight, keep your stomach engaged so your ribs are not flaring, and just allow your shoulder blades to get pulled down and back by that band as you lean forward out against it. Next, we're going to take one arm into the band here, and then we're going to work the lateral line of our body. So I want to take that side up over top and let that band pull my arm long over top as I reach the leg long away from the band. So really lengthening up that top side as much as possible. And I have my arm fully extended below me to plant and really connect my shoulder blades on my upper back. I want to feel those scapula actually connecting together back there. My butt is tight here, so I'm using my glutes to help pull me into that position and using my hips to extend. Lastly, I'm going to take it into rotation, so I'm going to bring one arm over the top and I'm going to let that band pull me through. And from here, with my legs open, kind of in a frog position, I'm just going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. So nice deep breaths. On your exhale is when you can allow your body to relax into the position deeper and deeper. So take your time here, breathe, and use diaphragmatic breathing to help you in this process. Next, once again, opening up that lateral line of our body. Here I'm using a large, soft medicine ball, and I'm placing it under my pelvis and my obliques. So it's kind of right where my obliques and ribs and pelvis are. And I'm letting my body arch over that ball. So I'm using the post here to help stabilize. You could also see that I have one leg behind. I want that to be the top leg, so it puts it at a little bit more length. So it's just toes to heel there. And I'm trying to keep as much alignment as possible through that lateral line of my body. So here I've moved my hands together. My head is resting on my ear on my shoulder there, so I can rest my head on my shoulder. And then I'm arching over that ball. Now, as you feel you have more balance, you can actually take the foot that's back behind you and truly line everything up. Your glutes will be engaged. You do want to make sure that your pelvis feels parallel to your ribs, okay? You want to make sure that it doesn't feel like you're arching your low back in this position. Try and keep the glutes engaged a little bit as you hold your pelvis parallel, and the whole side of your body should be pointing toward the ceiling. Next, we're moving into a position that's an inverted squat. So place one hip close to the wall and then roll to your back. You're gonna hug your heels as close to your butt as you can. Your knees will bring close to the ribs. You do want your knees to open so that they're in line with your smaller toes. Your feet should be parallel. You're gonna keep your abs braced so that your ribs are parallel to your pelvis. Once again, that there's not a large arch in your lower back. And then from there, you are reaching up overhead with the arms, thumbs to floor. So we want to try and almost flatten out the elbow pit to the floor as we reach overhead while keeping the abdomen braced. Now, using the floor as your reference, you can use this to help guide your body in what feels out of alignment here. So use that to help adjust your body, move it a little bit as you need to, but mainly focus on diaphragmatic breathing to allow your body to relax into a good parasympathetic state and open up more movement in this way so that you can release any tension that you're holding in this position. And lastly, we want to work on core stability, specifically using contralateral movements. So this is going to be something that we want to focus on a lot. So we're working opposite arm, opposite leg here in a dead bug position. I'm again keeping ribs parallel to the pelvis. I'm engaging the glutes as I extend the leg out and then pulling the leg back in. And we're just working on coordinating that movement on the opposing sides. And you'll see that in the majority of these core stability exercises that you're gonna see coming up here. But we do wanna learn how to organize and stabilize our spinal column well, and that can help adjust the position of our scoliotic curvature. This is a bent knee side plank holding stability. Here I'm using the outside of my bottom leg to push down into the floor as I push through the floor with my top foot there, and keeping my shoulder in a good stable position, relaxed down and back, not crunching into my ear. So here we're strengthening that lateral portion of our body. And again, we are working both sides in a movement like this. Next, we're working a glute bridge march. And here we're working on really stabilizing from the lower body up, keeping the pelvis as stable as possible, not allowing for any rotation. I'm using my shoulders and elbows, the back of my triceps, to drive into the floor to keep a nice stable base there, almost making a triangle with the foot that is pushing down through the floor. I'm taking my time and I want to minimize any shift or rotation that I feel from my hips and pelvis. And then lastly, we're gonna go to a prone position and work the bird dog. Again, contralateral movements. So really transitioning to a little bit more difficulty holding that stability and working on keeping the shoulder blade down and back, extending through the glutes, making sure it's not causing my lower back to arch, and then bringing the elbow and the knee together as I bring both in the middle to give a little bit of a crunch here. All right, and there you have it. How to go about addressing your functional scoliosis. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend. If there's somebody you know who struggles with a scoliotic curvature, pass it along their way. It might be something they could benefit from. If you've been struggling with this for some time now and you've noticed that it's inhibiting or causing other issues around your body and you're ready to actually put it behind you and you'd like some direct help from me, then what I want you to do right now is drop down below in the description and fill out a coaching application and schedule your mobility blueprint call. This will be our opportunity to get on a Zoom call together so that I can first of all take you through an assessment, gather the information I'm going to need to tailor a program specific to your needs, and then lay out for you in full detail what that program is going to look like on that call and answer any questions that you have. And if that sounds good to you, head down in that description right now, fill out that coaching application and get that call scheduled. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it does not get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Welcome to the Stronghold Army. We'll see you next week.